Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another replay cast. Today we are looking at the game in the STB-1, the Japanese tier 10 medium tank. He will start for encounter with a really good matchmaking, have to say, right from the start. Only 4 tier 9s and 3 tier 10s, so realistically only 7 tanks that are real opposition to me, and the rest are pretty much like cannon fodder. That being said, tier 10's impact in this game is insanely massive, and if you play these kind of games wrong, you'll definitely lose them for your team, and if you play them right, you'll definitely win them for your team. So it is extremely important what you do in these games. It's way more so important when there's like 11 tier 10s, then each and a tier 10 does not carry as much weight as you do in this kind of game. So it is extremely important what the tier 10s do in these kind of games. It is slightly easier for you if you're like remotely backed up by your team to do reasonably well in these kind of games, but still you need to make the right decisions. And the right decision for the STB-1 always is to go hull down, try to keep the gun at medium to close range, because otherwise it will just miss a barn from inside, so you really don't want to be shooting at anything more than really 200 meters with this gun if you actually want to hit that thing you're aiming at. So as you saw at the start of the game, I was patrolling their ramp of the hill and trying to deny anybody to climb up without getting shot. Obviously my gun didn't allow that as I missed the 110 at the start there, but still I tried to spot everybody that comes up, and if not shoot them, at least to make sure we keep count on how many tanks are up here. And if you look at the mini-map, the situation is not very pleasant for us, especially if this Conqueror decides to just throw his life away for no real reason. When your teammates do that, however, you should try to take every advantage of it you can. So if he wants to go there and die, you just do damage off him and then try to fall back. Now I trade my repair kit for one more damaging shot, and situation is pretty damn dire on the hill now, so I'm just gonna fuck off. And this kind of situational awareness is extremely important when you are playing a top tier tank that is extremely extreme value in a game like this. So just beware of what is happening, and if you're losing a flank really badly, maybe it is way better to just run away and leave those tier 8s to cover your retreat and take one for the team. I really didn't have a lot of choice here. If I stayed there up with them, I would have been dead within like minutes. You can see the full health 62A appears on the hill as well, so I would have been a dead man up there for sure. That being said, going hill definitely was the right play. 2.6k free damage with 1 kill. Only, like, it wasn't completely free. I traded my repair kit for it, but even so, like, that's ridiculously good value, and you should pretty much always go hill when it comes to tanks like the STB-1, especially from our spawn, because leaving the hill from this side was extremely easy, as you saw, and I didn't have to expose myself for any of the enemy tanks. And now just taking up a defensive position where I could stop them from advancing. If they pretty much chain down the hill altogether and go at me altogether, I will die, but we clearly see that this is not going to be the case. Our 430 was AFK, so their D62A is feeding on that at the moment, and now I'm just pretty much lined up and ready to shoot whoever decides to cross my path. And again, making this gun work in its comfort zone. I think it's like 160 meters to my enemies here, so this is an extremely good position to put this tank in. Here I'm just gonna retract the Bulldog. I could wait for the T-32 to go out, but I could just pick up the kill on the Bulldog, because there's no way he can run away if I double track him, and now he's obviously dead. I take one from the T-32 in my gun mantle. It doesn't do damage, obviously. Now a really bad player in a tier 8 shouldn't be a real issue for this gun and this tank. The T-32 playing well, not taking any chances when he doesn't have to, and this FV kind of fucked up here. I tried to back him up, but then I realized that I will have 2 tanks on my left and 2 tanks on my right, and if I go away from my strong position here, I will definitely lose a lot of health to even take out those two tier 8s, not even talking about killing the 9 and the tier 10. And again, thought things through, looked at the mini-map properly, and realized that there's absolutely no reason to push forward, so I just stay here. And now the 62A is there, but I will pick up the kill on the T-32. He fucks up finally, I guess he was a bit greedy and wanted to get a shot into my hull, so he waited there. And now I am taking quite a bit of chances here with these shots, but I still haven't taken any damage, so I can afford to make these stupid trades. Even if they don't pay out for me, I'll still, like, I'm not on the dire straits at the moment, so even if the 62 pens me and I don't pen him, it's still not the biggest deal ever. And if this happens, then obviously now I have such a health advantage on him that I can just go in there and kill him, which is kind of exactly what I'm going to do here. Again, thinking things through, it's clear that there's no way that 62A kills me. He still will do a lot of damage because I need to shoot him 3 times, unfortunately, but there's nothing I can really do about that. And just making sure that I don't let him shoot me before I'm reloaded myself, so making the best chance of me not being shot 3 times, but that's not going to happen because he had the repair speed and I didn't really track him there. So I take 3 shots there as I said I will, and managed to take him out. So now we have E75 Caravan and the T-34 left. Not the most threatening tanks ever, especially with the E75 being on 100 health and with the stock turret, but still, we don't really want to drop the ball on this one. That would be really shitty. And our E3 has no health left as well. He actually dies to the Caravan, so we are not... we're in a good shape, don't get me wrong, but we're not like 100% winning this yet, so we just need to go there and seal the deal, really. Before I forget, equipment on this is vert stabs, rammer, and coated optics, as on pretty much every tier 10 medium tank. The aiming time is kind of shitty, but you can't really swap any of those equipments out for anything else. Pick up the E75 kill and should be able to pick up the Caravan as well if the Thief Throw E1 doesn't go for him. And E1 lost a lot of health as well, so even now we could still throw the game. It's really unlikely, especially after he bounces the E1 shot. Not really sure what health he's on, but we should be able to pick him up here. Get to spot him, 505 health, it shouldn't be a problem, especially if I can get one shot into him. Driving backwards here, so the aiming dispersion wasn't that bad, but still get quite lucky with that shot. And now there's no real possible chance that he would win this game. He has to get ridiculously lucky with ammo wrecking me, or he has to track me and then manage to fall back far enough to deny me from shooting him even once. And that pretty much was my game, because the T-34 chose the easy way out. Pretty decent for the STB-1, really good matchmaking, but then again, in this kind of matchmaking, it's extremely important what each and every tier 10 does, so it is, the weight in these kind of games has to be on you, and you kind of have to carry these kind of games if you want to win them. And here's the end play, 3912 experience with the double Ace Tanker, Top Gun, and High Caliber. So I got one of the missions done as well, which is nice. And this game kind of nicely showcases the potential of the STB-1 when you put it in the right position. So I got lucky with some of the shots, but most of the time I was shooting within 200-meter range. So I did the most I could to make my gun as good as I could, and it paid off in the end. Also, paying attention to your surroundings and the mini-map in this kind of game is extremely important. Would have I stayed on the hill, I would have died and we would have 100% lost that game. And also probably if I went for the aggressive play when the FV died, I probably would have lost the game as well, because their 62A would have done exactly the same kind of cleanup I did at the end there, only for the enemy team. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.